Cole, what'd you get for number one?
4.
That's it?
I think so.
Close.
-4.
Yeah, should be -4, right? 2 plus -6 is -4. The positive 4i, -4i cancel, right? How about number 2, Andrew?
I got -3 plus I.
Good. 5 minus 8 is -3, -I plus 2i, because it's minus a negative, would be 1i. Kind of hard to tell that that's an I. All right, how do we do 3? Olivia Carr?
How do you do it?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so we got what?
I got 6 minus 4i plus 6i minus 10i.
Minus 10i squared, right? So what happens with that 10i squared? Yeah, that makes it plus 10. So what's our answer, Olivia?
I try to do the square of i.
But that, you know what to do, you can see it now, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Isn't it just 16 plus 11i?
Yes. Questions?
How did you get that?
6 plus 10, because that's, remember, I squared equals -1, right? So that's like -10 times -1, which makes it positive 10, or plus 10. All right, what did we say yesterday about these big exponents with i's? Divide the exponent by 4, right? Which is 7, remainder 3. So this is like I to the third, right? The remainder part, in your calculator, it was 7.75, right? You know what you got? Use your calculator. All right, that means the exponent is 3. What did we learn I cubed was yesterday? -I. All right, here's the little table we did yesterday. All right? Anything to the 0 power is 1, so I to the 0 is 1. That's if you're using your calculator dividing by 4, you got a whole number, right? Anything to the first power is itself, so I to the first is I. And when you divide by 4 and you get a number that's got a 0.25 in it, that means it's going to be I to the first. I squared we know is -1. So if you use your calculator, when you divide by 4, you'll get 0.5 in your answer. So that means it's I squared. And the one we just did had a 0.75 in your calculator. That's the I cubed, which is the -I. Okay? That's how we do those. All right, so a few of you had a question mark for that number 62, the last one that was like that. So make sure you understand those. All right, we had page 3, what, 60? Oh, 86, yeah, that's just what it is, the 60. All right, and we started at number 46, right? So 46, what you get, Grace?
10 minus 8i.
Correct. 48, Olivia Wyndham.
-5 minus 7i.
Good. 50, Scott.
6 minus 4.
Good. Any questions on those three? Just combining like terms. You getting those right, Trent? You're not sure, huh? You're staring off into space. 52, again, it said find each sum by graphing. We don't worry about the graphing part, just combine like terms like we're used to. All right? So, Sammy Joe, what'd you get at 52?
I had 4 minus 2i.
Yep, 4 minus 2i. 54, Kate?
Oh, -4 plus 6.
Actually, it's 1 minus 6i. Okay, just do it like we did this warm up, what we just combine like terms. We're not worried about the graphing part of this. All right, 56, we had the FOIL. Sydney, what'd you get?
I don't remember. I didn't have it yet.
Yeah, it was like, this warm up here. Just FOIL it. Okay, how about Ian?
51 plus 79.
Correct. 58. Fine.
Okay, -11.
That's part of it. Plus 60i. All right, let's look at that one because I think I have a blank room. Yeah. What number is that? 56? 58. Okay, so we got a quantity or a binomial squared here. 5 plus 6i squared. You guys know what squared means, right? Multiplied by what? Itself, right? So just write it twice. Okay? Or you can do the shortcut. We've done this before, shortcut on these. I'll show you that in a second. But first would be 5 times 5. Outside would be 5 times 6i. Inside would be 5 times 6i. And last would be 6i times 6i, which is 36i squared. So I squared is -1, so that makes it -36. So it's 25 minus 36, which is -11. And then 30 plus 30 is 60i.
I just squared them both.
Yeah, you can do that. The shortcut is square the 5, which is your 25. All right, multiply those and then double it, right? You got your 30i, then times 2 is a 60i. That's how you get these two. All right, and then square that, which is 36i squared, makes it negative. Olivia?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yeah. Okay, so just remember that. Just don't square them and then stop. There's a middle term for that one. Number 60, we're just distributing. Okay, Colzito, what'd you get?
I got -32 minus 48i.
Correct. And then 62 was like that last one we did. I guess that was the only one that had the I to a power. All right, so I'm dividing 11 by 4, which would be 2 times 4 is 8. So this is like -I to the third. And remember, that's like negative, and then I to the third we said was -I, right? So what's a negative of a negative I? Positive I. So you should have gotten I for number 62. 20. Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Any other questions on homework? Okay. Today, then, we did add, subtract, multiply, and this type of problem yesterday with these complex numbers. Today, we're going to divide. Again, that was just a quick review of the pattern, but we just saw it here, right? That. So you need to know that little pattern, that little chart, to do those types of problems. Okay? So I always like to start with I to the 0 equals 1. I like to go those 4. I to the 0, I to the first, I to the second, I to the third. Those are the 4 that are going to show up. Okay? Only 4 answers on those. And if you got other numbers in there, then you got to do, you got to multiply by whatever's in there, or add whatever they're telling you to do. All right, so expressions in simplest form cannot have square roots in the denominator. All right, we can't have something like this, 5 over the square root of 3. Remember, we can't leave it like that. What would we do to simplify that? Right. Whatever that radical is in the bottom, morning, Evan.
Morning.
Whatever that radical is in the bottom, you multiply the top and bottom by that. Okay? It's called rationalizing the denominator. Right, Trent? So, just go 5 times radical 3 in the top. What's radical 3 times radical 3? 3, yeah. Gets rid of that radical sign. Remember that? Okay? So that's what it's talking about in that first sentence. Okay? Because the imaginary unit represents a square root, right? I is the square root of -1. You must rationalize any denominator that contains an imaginary unit. So if there's an I in a denominator, we got to get it out of the bottom. Just like we did with radicals, we got to get those out of the bottom. Okay? So no radicals in denominators, no I's in denominators. To do this, multiply the numerator and denominator by the complex conjugate of the denominator. Okay? You're supposed to know, what the complex conjugate is, right? If it's A plus BI, its conjugate is A minus BI, right? Make sure it's in the right order, all that stuff. Okay? So, what's the complex conjugate of 5i? -5i. So that's what you're going to multiply top and bottom by. All right? When you do this, you're thinking about that. You're distributing. Okay? Come on. All right? So -5i times 3 is a -15i. -5i times 10i is -50i squared. 5i times -5i is -25i squared. Now we see those I squared. What can we do with those? We cancel them, right? And what do we do with that sign in front? Change it, right? That's what they did. Now, look at 15, 50, and 25. Is there a number that goes into all 3 of those numbers? Yeah, 5 goes into all 3, right? So we have to simplify it. We have to reduce that fraction. We're going to divide all 3 of those numbers by 5. So what's that make that? 3, 10, and a 5. You don't have to do this part. You can leave it like this. This is fine. Okay? So when there's an I in the denominator, we're going to multiply the top and the bottom of the fraction by the complex conjugate. Okay? And we're going to simplify it. When we see the I squareds, we're changing the sign in front of the number, right? We're going to get rid of it. Because remember, I squared equals -1. Questions on that example? Making sense to you? Okay. What's the complex conjugate here? What? 4 plus 2i. Both of them are in there, right? So, like that. All right, go ahead and finish it up. See what you get. What you have to do is the top and bottom. What we call it when we multiply those. FOIL it, right?
Oh, microphone, that's pretty area. When I was,
It would, yeah.
wrong. I probably did it wrong. I did.
Right,
Yeah.
that's not even wrong. Then reduce it. No.
Can you not like do this? I don't know why you think we didn't know it's actually found.
You could divide all those by four.
It's like if somebody.
No. Oh, we're just. And you do that square. Oh, well, it's not. That's what I was
Wait, I think it's 28.
That's right, you just did it. Divide two into all.
No, it's 4 plus 32.
Divide all those by four.
It's 4i plus 32.
I have 4.
And you divide squares.
Darius, now.
Look at the squares.
No, because he said, oh, that looks right, you just gotta change it. 8, it's 16 minus 8, which I changed, which is 8. What else, right? I changed my foil. Yeah, so it's first. Outside,
Nope.
inside, last.
Lefty, get it, yeah.
Ah, no, you didn't. Oh, you psycho. Oh, wait, it's not. It's
Close. You gonna count?
I foiled.
Ron?
No.
Wait, how do you get our bed? What do you write by?
Wow.
Yeah, but that's.
All right. When I foil the top, what's the first? B. What's outside? Same. What's inside?
That one.
What's last? What's the bottom? First. Outside. Inside. Last. Negative.
Negative.
Right? Any problems with that? Okay. Like terms. Right? What do I do with the I squared? Cancel. Alright, so my answer would be 8 minus 16 is negative 8. 4 plus 32 is 36. And 16 plus 4 is 20. Is there a number that goes into all three of those? 4 does, right? So, negative 8 divided by 4, 36 divided by 4, and 20 divided by 4. Now, yesterday I told you if you had conjugates, there's a shortcut you could do. Square the first term, square 4, what do you get? 16. Square the 2, what do you get? 4. And always add. Always addition when they're conjugates. So if you want to do the shortcut, just square the 4, square the 2, and add them to get to 20. You're going to have to FOIL the whole thing out at the top. Okay? What do I do to simplify the one on the right? Multiply by I. The conjugate of negative I is positive I, right? Negative I times I is negative I squared. Okay? What's I squared equal, Sammy? I squared equals what? Negative 1, right? So, remember there's a 1 here, we just never write it. So I'm doing this, right? So my denominator is 1 now. What do I do in the top? Distribute, right? 3 times I and 8i times I. So what's my answer to this? Right, 3i minus 8, which we like to write negative 8 plus 3i because it's supposed to be in the right order, right? So that's an easy one, but that always kind of tricks people because of that negative I squared. Remember, I squared is negative 1, so it's like a negative of a negative 1, which made it positive 1. Okay? I think that's it.
I just said no to delete.
Okay.
Not again. Not again. We started with 5 people. Dude, starting with 5 people.
This is like negative 45 times. So then you can go to
Dude, so not the fight so bad.
this one.
No, I think it's no, definitely blue. Definitely blue. Okay.
What happened yesterday? Everything's been all good and yesterday?
Dude, I think it's garbage. On the corner. Okay, I'm gonna connect. WG, WMRC. Oh, it's small. Nope, I gotta figure out how I'll leave. OLW. OLW. Like you. Your birthday. Which one? Which one?
See you tomorrow.
Work